Hi, my name is Eric, and I'm going to talk about urban sustainability. The industrial manufacturing company Siemens defines urban sustainability as the idea that a city can be organized without excessive reliance on the surrounding countryside and be able to power itself with renewable sources of energy. However, this may not be the most practical definition, considering that there is 49 million square kilometers of land used to produce food and only 3.5 million kilometers squared of cities, which would be like shoving Russia into Egypt, and that's just not going to happen. A more general definition of sustainability is just the ability to be maintained at a certain rate or level, which I will be mostly using for this video. So let's start off in the past and work our way towards today. People have been making permanent settlements since 17,000 BC, and the first places considered as urban centers or cities were formed roughly 4,500 to 3,100 BC. Ever since then, we've been trying to create more efficient ways to organize and supply cities to sustain the growing population, which has brought us to today with a population of 7.3 billion people, which is expected to grow to 8.5 billion by 2030 and 11.2 billion by 2100, if we last that long. Most of these people will end up in cities, as it is predicted by 2050. 70% of people will live in urban areas. Now, how can mechanical engineers help the problem of sustainability? In this video, I'll be talking about how mechanical engineers have built mainly vehicles, transportation, and energy sources that have been important in keeping cities sustainable as the population grows along with demand for resources. Some of the most influential vehicles that we use day to day are cars, trains, and boats. The process of inventing better vehicles which were mechanical was started from the invention of the steam engine in the early 1700s by Thomas Savery. Shortly after this, later in the 1700s, came the inventions of steam-powered trains, boats, and the beginning of cars. These inventions were important for sustaining a growing population since they made it significantly easier to transport large amounts of goods easily between places. Another improvement to technology that went along with this is the automation of equipment and processing in farming, which made it easier to harvest, making it more feasible to grow more for more people. These vehicles are used every day worldwide to deliver goods and people around the world and within cities. Without these effective ways of transporting goods, we would not be able to have the very large selection of food we have at our disposal now. As well, building materials, parts, and machinery would be difficult to obtain since much of this is made in other parts of the world and then shipped here to us. We have been able to improve the designs and engines of these vehicles and continue to do so. Right now, a downside to all this technology we use to move around is fueled by fossil fuels, which are a source of climate change, which is warming the earth. This has led many people to think of how we can keep making efficient products while also considering the impact on the environment. For cars, this has come in the form of improving fuel efficiency and considering other ways to power a car, such as hydrogen fuel cells, but mostly electrically. Car companies that have been creating and improving electric cars are Nissan, GM, Toyota, Ford, and probably the most well-known today for its electric cars, which is Tesla. Moving away from fossil fuels means we need to find other sources of energy. Right now, the main renewable energy sources are solar power, geothermal, wind, and hydroelectric. Mechanical engineers, along with other engineers, are trying to create ways of harnessing these energies so it is reasonable for them to replace fossil fuels. Currently, people are reluctant to switch because fossil fuels create much more power than these renewable sources. But if we can create good renewable sources of energy, it will help create a much more sustainable place for people to live. The CEO of Tesla, Elon Musk, is trying to be a big part of this change. Along with the electric cars that Tesla makes, he also owns a company called Solar City. He hopes it will be able to make the roofs of all houses solar panels. Once technologies like this become less expensive, we will start to move to a more energy sustainable future. The future of sustainable energy is important for Elon Musk's vision of taking people to Mars, which he hopes will be made possible through his company SpaceX. He would like to colonize Mars eventually, and to do this, it will be very important to have a good understanding of technologies that allow new settlements to be sustainable. So whether we are here on Earth or off on another planet, urban sustainability will be a goal that we continue to try and achieve. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching. Done.